Hey guys, this is Chauncey from Good Music to Know, and today I'm joined by the band Miicah, a group that's been crafting music with a psychedelic and introspective edge. Their latest album, Fatamorgana, takes you on a mind-bending journey, and their newest single, Lab Rat, brings a fresh twist with an exciting rap feature from Tathing. And we're so stoked to have Miicah on the show today, so thanks for joining.
No problem. I'm super stoked to be here to answer a few questions for you. So
Yeah. Cool. So jumping in, your sound leans like hard into like psychedelic and kind of like that soul searching space. So what drew you into that world sonically? And were there any albums that maybe kind of unlock that psychedelic sound direction for you?
it's got to be. Have you ever heard of the band Crumb?
Yes. Yeah.
So, Crumb and kind of like the Tame Impala, the current album, and then the Slow Rush, or I think that's what it's called. Those were like some pretty key albums and bands that I feel like for me pushed me into that direction of like exploring the psychedelic sound. The way I describe it is I want my music to sound like you're hearing your thoughts. You know what I mean? And whether that be nostalgia, whether that be fear or pain or just general relative pain that we all go through, I want to channel it in a way to bring that psychedelia to view to the listener's perspective so that it's almost like they're in their own experience while they're hearing the lyrics and everything. And so that's kind of how it came about, I feel like.
Yeah. Super cool. And if you had to describe your sound without maybe using like genre labels, how would you put it into words?
Indie gaze pop. That's what we've come up with. It's like shoegaze, hip hop, pop, indie rock-ish, kind of everything together like that. So
Yeah. And then your newest single, Lab Rat, so it definitely adds like a gritty new texture to your sound, especially with like the rap element. So how did that collaboration come about? And is it a shift in your approach to production at all?
That's a great question. So in high school, I made an album, like a rap album, when I was like 17, 18. And so I've always loved rap music and hip hop. I have a lot of inspirations coming from people like J. Cole or like Notorious B.I.G. Like my parents raised me on Big Papa. So
Yeah.
I definitely feel like the hip hop element has always kind of stuck with me in my production. But I've over the years, as I've kind of changed my artist name or just creating new projects. With this one specifically, I've wanted to kind of reintroduce that element to the music. And so I wrote that, and then I just never went anywhere with it. But I met KTHK&G, and I felt pretty inspired by his music. And so I showed him the song, and he felt so inspired at that moment that he started writing his part. And we never really like ran with it after that, but until like a year later. And then he finally recorded his verse, and I put it all together, and it just sounded right. So
Yeah. It was super cool.
thank you.
I know your song Coma, that found a lot of success, but it wasn't actually included on the last album. So do you think Coma will just stay a single, or does it belong to maybe like a future project?
Good question as well. I think Comas will probably stay by itself. It was supposed to go on Fatamorgana, but I took it off because we had uploaded the album. And then I deleted it because I wanted to fix a few things. And I actually ended up taking a bunch of songs off and putting new ones that I was currently working on that just felt more like that album. So I'll probably leave. I feel like Comas is a good single, so I'll probably leave it as a single.
Yeah. I think I read somewhere that you said your music deals with like introspection and the fight to transform trauma into change. So is there a song that best represents this for you that you've released, or maybe like a song in general?
I'd have to say Loneliness on my Bad Holiday album. I have to explain this real quick. Sorry if it takes a little while, but
No, it's
so
okay.
Bad Holiday, I wanted it to sound very dream, like you're in the dream state.
Yeah.
And I followed the pattern of the storytelling from Alice in Wonderland. So you get the intro, it's like all loopy whoopy, kind of like psychedelic, exploring brain chemistry, and then it dives into Loneliness. And Loneliness kind of sounds like a song of like recognizing that there's pain somewhere inside and choosing to do something about it rather than just go in the same circle, that you're stuck in the same cycle. Towards the end, when I'm like screaming and it gets really hard and the instrumental starts going really hard, that's like the way I imagine it, like when I'm chasing the rabbit. You know what I mean? And then once the chorus ends and it kind of dies down into this very calm instrumental, that's kind of like when you're falling through the hole and then you end up on this other side, the dream state. And it's like you start learning things about yourself and you have to feel things again. And it's kind of nostalgic, but eerie to a degree. And it's just kind of about that space of change. And so I feel like Loneliness was like that song for me to initiate something that I think will keep going in my music. So
yeah. And what's one track that you're the most proud of, like just overall? And is there maybe like a line or lyric from that particular track that still hits when you hear it back?
It's a good question. I'd probably have to say lyric wise, Lab Rat.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like Lab Rat is a good sum up of everything that's happened thus far in my life with music. And it's kind of like a statement as well. Like, this is where I stand with music. I don't just stick to one genre. Like, I want to explore. But I'd have to say a song that I'm really, really proud of would probably be Fatamorgana or Someone Else.
Yeah.
Fatamorgana for the production, Someone Else for the lyricism and melodies.
Yeah.
So there's kind of 3 songs, not one.
Yeah, that still works. What does success mean to you, like at this point in your journey?
That's something I'm learning a lot about right now, to be honest, because it's a challenging task as a musician when you're growing older and you want to be playing all these shows. And, you know, when it starts to not happen and not go your way, which happens a lot in a music career, it's happened plenty of times. It starts to be really like challenging because you have to remember what got you here in the first place was doing something that made you happy and doing something that you love doing. And sometimes it can get really easy to get caught up in like, oh, we have to be selling merch, playing shows, getting this many streams, but it's really just not about that. So I think success to me is eventually getting to a point where it's never about the success of the song, but about how much I'm into creating what I'm creating at that moment and how much it's feeling me to, keep pushing forward in life. So.
And who are some artists that you like have on heavy rotation at the moment that you can't stop listening to?
21 Pilots, Flip Turn.
Oh, I love Turn. Yeah.
Turn's amazing. So 21 Pilots, Flip Turn, and probably Tame Impala.
Yeah. I was just screaming the song Car Radio a few days ago.
Really? Yes.
I love that 21 Pilot album so much. I think it came out when I was like in maybe high school, but that album was so good. Like the lyrics are amazing on that album. I love it.
Yeah, I love the realness of it. It's a great album.
Yeah. And so like what's next on the agenda for 2025? So like any more new music, shows, collaborations?
We got a few cool things to look forward to. Right now, we're finishing up a song or a demo that I wrote in the bad holiday time period when I was writing that album. I never fully finished it, but we're going to record the drums for it at a studio. But I'm not sure if you're familiar with M83.
Of course. Yeah.
So Jordan Lawler from M83 is going to be kind of like co-producing a little bit on that song.
Well, yeah.
So we're super excited to be working with Jordan. And as far as that, we're just going to try and write either a few EPs or another album, but it's kind of still in the air. So we have a lot of shows and then we're working on that song with Jordan. So
yeah, another band I interviewed, Friend of a Friend, they also worked with Jordan on one of their albums and they had like nothing but great things to say. So that's super exciting.
No, we had a call with him. He's a super cool guy, like super chill, and he just seems like he's really easy to work with. So
yeah, they love him.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So I think those are like the main questions I had for you. But with that being said, like, are there any maybe like final words that you want to leave with your fans and the listeners?
Yeah, we're so happy to be alive in such a time where it's so easy to connect with a lot of you guys, and we absolutely love playing shows. So if you live in a state outside of Utah, one day we'll be playing there, and we can't wait for that day. Just keep supporting us in the ways that you can until then. And we're so grateful for everyone who streams our music and enjoys it and finds meaning in it. And yeah.